Lord our God, in your wisdom and love, you surround us with the mysteries of the universe. In times long past, you sent us your prophets to teach your laws and to bear witness to your undying love. You sent us your Son to teach us by word and example that true wisdom comes from you alone. Send your Spirit upon these students who graduate on this day and fill them with your wisdom and blessings. Grant that they may live as they learned in Our Lady Perpetual Help Catholic Academy. And may they share what they have learned with others. We pray this along with Mary, who prays and blesses them. In the name of Jesus Christ, your Son, who lives and reigns forever and ever. Amen.
Good morning, members of the board, Mrs. Tyndall, Father Gilmore, Father Mulvaney, Father McKenna, Father Go, our guests, the faculty and students, parents and friends, and most importantly, the fine young men and women sitting before me, my 8th grade class. My name is Ms. Chavez, and it is with pride I welcome you to the 2018 commencement ceremony at Our Lady of Perpetual Help Catholic Academy of Brooklyn. We are gathered here today to celebrate a milestone in the lives of the graduating class of 2018. Graduation is about endings and beginnings, a celebration of achievement, and the commencement of a transition to a different chapter in your lives. I have been honored with the opportunity to be a part of your lives this past year as your 8th grade teacher, and I have watched you all mature and grow in knowledge and faith. Our entire school community and your families are very proud to be here today and to share this moment in time with you. You each have brought your own individual uniqueness that sets you apart from one another. Many of you began your journey here since you were in pre-K. More of you have joined throughout the years and are now ready to reach for the stars. You have experienced together the many transitions we as a school have faced. Together you have shared many experiences with one another, such as laughter, tears, and at times you have even disagreed with each other. But just like a family, you have found ways to compromise and resolve your differences. Together you have met the challenges placed before you and strive for success. Try to remember those who have loved and supported you throughout your journey, your family and friends, your teachers, many of whom have had you for various subjects throughout your time here. We all want nothing but the best for you and your future. Understand we have done what we can do for you to succeed, and hope that you will pay it forward for others who will follow. This is a very exciting day in your lives as you move forward to your individual academic high school careers and beyond. I can only hope and wish that you continue to excel in your talents and abilities. You are all full of promise, and it will reflect on the people who you will leave an impression upon. The next level of your life journey will be met with increased adventures, experiences, demands, and choices. Choose well. Please remember what you were taught here at Our Lady Perpetual Help Catholic Academy of Brooklyn. Take those foundations, values, and lessons with you as you go. I would like to thank each and every one of you for all you have brought to Our Lady Perpetual Help School. I want to thank your parents for giving us the opportunity to educate you, and we hope you will take a piece of us with you throughout your future endeavors. May your future be filled with rewards and happiness. I pray that the Lord will continue to lead and guide you in the way you should go. As you head into high school, you will learn many life lessons on your own. Chances are, your heart will be broken at least once. You'll wonder how someone trusted you enough to put you behind the wheel of a car. And you'll learn what the outside world is like when you get your first job. Don't be afraid to fail, and I don't mean your classes. In your high school, take risks and try new things, especially those that seem out of the box. Always ask questions, keep reading and writing, and always be kind. Once again, Our Lady Perpetual Help Catholic Academy of Brooklyn is extremely proud of you. Thank you for a wonderful first year as the 8th grade teacher. As my first class, you will all hold a special place in my heart. Rather than to say goodbye, let's say until we meet again. May God bless you always, and congratulations to the class of 2018. I would like to introduce your salutatorian, Zenyu Lin, or K, as he likes to be called. He has earned his spot of salutatorian by putting all of himself into his work. He is a well-rounded individual, always studying or working on something, whether academics or his prep classes, or even practicing his musical instruments. He is very well respected by his peers and is always there to lend a helping hand. He served as the 8th grade class representative in student council and has worked in various events throughout the school. Kay is a polite and funny young gentleman. His sense of humor is one of a kind. He has proven that his creativity is limitless, and it is my hope that his dreams are too. Ladies and gentlemen, your salutatorian, Zenyu K. Lin.
Good morning, Father, the member of the board, Ms. Sindel, guests, OLPH faculty and staff, OLPH CAB students, and lastly, classmates of the graduating class of 2018.
Here is a quote that I like, and it states, "Somebody once told me the world was gonna roll me. I ain't the sharpest tool in the shed." Hi, my name is Kay, and I'm the salutatorian for the class of 2018. Good morning again, everyone. I'm glad that you're all here. I would like to start this by thanking my classmates for being with me. Some have only been with me for a short time, while some have been with me since I first arrived at OLPH 5 years ago. I would like us to all remember the good times. Let's take a walk down memory lane. We all remember the time that we did our last minute trailer for stuff. Or that time we added extra ED to the end of the words that already had the ED. Or that time where we used a deck of cards and played poker with 8 people. Or that time we won the volleyball match against the faculty. Oh wait, that was just in my dream. We actually lost somehow. Honestly, there were many more memories, but too many to recount. I would like to thank my parents for sending me to this school, even though at first I thought it was the worst idea. They worked hard every day just so I could get the education I needed. And yet they still managed to afford my prep classes, so thank you. Last but not least, I would like to thank the teachers from junior high and specials. They always do the best they can to look out for us. Our classes is always as enjoyable as the next, which makes the day go by faster. The teachers never gave up on us, never let us down, never gonna run around and desert us, never made us cry, that might be questionable, never say goodbye until now, and never gonna tell a lie and hurt us. I would like to end this speech with a lesson. The lesson is never to be cocky, and always prepare for the worst. This is what I learned when I got my high school results back in March. Since I prepped and took the SHSAT, I was expecting to get into a specialized high school. But when the results came in, it showed no acceptance. What made it worse was the fact that I didn't get into any other high school either. So that was a wake-up call that I'll never forget. It left me with a desire to push myself even harder. That drive had brought me down here today. It even got me into a high school in the second round. I want to finish with some advice for my fellow graduates. And remember, as Smash Mouth once said, only shooting stars break the mold. Thank you.
Now, on behalf of the class of 2018, they would like to dedicate this song to all of the people who have all played such an important part of their lives and stood by them through it all. So class of introduce your valedictorian, Caitlin Cortez. Achieved the highest academic honor, but has been a shining star year after year at Our Lady Perpetual Help Catholic Academy of Brooklyn. Caitlin is a dedicated individual who not only remains committed to her academics, but attends almost all school events and is always helping out whenever possible. She takes initiative and runs with it. In the classroom, Caitlin is quick to answer any question and just as quick to help a struggling fellow classmate. Outside the classroom, she is involved in extracurricular activities such as art club, yearbook, and chorus, to just mention a few, and has served as your student council president for this school year. She is always a happy individual who always finds the best in everyone around her and sees the positive in everything. These qualities have guided her through her time here at Our Lady Perpetual Help Catholic Academy of Brooklyn, and it is my hope that they will continue to guide her in the future. Ladies and gentlemen, your valedictorian, Caitlin Cortez.
Good morning, Father, Ms. Tyndall, board members, teachers, staff, students, family, and fellow graduates. Today is a special day for my class. After all of our hard work and dedication, we are graduating. My name is Caitlin Cortez, and I am the valedictorian of our class. I would first like to speak about the people that have helped me to achieve this title. The first person I would like to thank is God, my Heavenly Father. God has given me the blessing to be standing up here today. He has blessed me with amazing parents, siblings, family, and wonderful friends. God has given me many blessings that I am forever grateful for. Through Him, all things are possible. The next person I would like to thank is my mother. My mother is the most beautiful, strong, smart, independent, and giving person I know. She is my role model, and I always look up to her. She leads by example. She is always there to give me advice and always wants to hear every little detail and every story I tell her. I love you, Mom. Thank you for everything. Now we have my father. My father is strong, brave, compassionate, and kind. Now, I know my father probably didn't expect me to tell this story, but I'm going to say it anyway. My father was coming home from work one day when he saw a homeless man on the streets. My dad knew he was hungry, so he decided to take money from his own pockets and take the man to eat. He talked to the man for a while they ate. This is the type of man my father is. Thank you so much, Dad. I love you. Thank you, Mom and Dad, for all the sacrifices you have made to give my brothers and I the best education possible. The next two people I would like to talk about are my brothers. Yes, having siblings can be questionable at sometimes, but I feel that I am blessed to have two amazing and exceptional brothers. They always make sure that I'm happy and laughing. They always watch out for me. I love you, Dylan and Christian. Now I would like to talk about my grandparents. My grandparents always spoil me and are so loving. One of my grandmothers tells me stories about when she was growing up, which I always love to hear. She was upset that she couldn't make it here today, but I know she's here in spirit. The next person I would like to thank is my other grandmother and also my other grandfather. And to them I say, Abuelo y Abuela, te amo. I'd like to thank my godparents for all they do. Debbie and Steve, how much I love them. I have such great memories of our vacations together and going to see Broadway shows. To my aunts, uncles, and cousins, I love you all. I couldn't ask for a better family. The next people I would like to talk about are the teachers and staff at Our Lady Perpetual Help Catholic Academy of Brooklyn. They have taught us so much and have always been kind and caring to every single student. We thank our board who devote their time to help our school to be a success. We are forever grateful. To Miss Francine, who is always there setting up and helping to make our events extra special, and she has to deal with us in the lunchroom, which isn't always easy. And to Miss Mira, who keeps things running smoothly in the office, we thank you. Our teachers are by far the best around. Mr. Sullivan, you are an amazing math teacher. You always take the time to help any student who needs help, even coming in early to tutor them if they needed it. Mr. Guo, thanks for making learning fun. You're a great science teacher. We were your first class at Our Lady Perpetual Help, and I'm glad we were. Ms. Khan also made our lessons enjoyable, like making us go back in time and join the fight for the women's suffrage movement. We were picketing in the halls. Ms. Raffia, who knows I love art, took the time to teach me techniques and helped make me a better artist. Thank you. Mr. Diaz, our Spanish and music teacher, thank you for all the time and effort you have put in every year, making our shows amazing. Next person is Mr. Molinari, our gym and STEM teacher. You have made this year so much fun with all the projects you have given us. I especially loved making films, and I want to continue to do so. And thank you for our 8th grade DVD. I can't even count how many times I've already watched it. Ms. Aquilino and Ms. Bernabe, thank you for all you have done for Student Council over the years. Ms. Chavez, you were the most sweetest, most amazing teacher we could have asked for. You have made this year so special for us. You have taught us so much, and we are forever thankful. Ms. Tyndall, what can I say? Having you as our principal has been a blessing. You have treated us like young adults, making us accountable for our actions. The dance was amazing, and we were so glad it wasn't in the lunchroom. Thank you also for the gifts. And for any teachers or staff I did not mention, please know that we are grateful, and we thank you for all you do. Now, to my fellow graduating class. It has been an honor to be your friend. We have been through so much together. We have been through the good times and the bad times, and I enjoyed every single second of it. But I'm so happy you are here. From the beginning of this school year, when it started, I know that some of you came from your school closing, but it was like you were meant to be here, at this moment, graduating with us. It is a blessing to have each and every one of you in my life. I couldn't ask for a better group of friends. I feel that because our bond is so strong, we are not only friends, but family. This year was incredible, but now it is time to move on. I feel like we are butterflies that are going through our metamorphosis. We were in Our Lady Perpetual Help, Catholic Academy in Brooklyn, and it was our cocoon. It kept us safe and nourished us, and now we are ready to leave. We are ready to fly away and explore this vast world. I know we are all trepidatious about moving on, and we are prepared. OLPH has given us the necessary tools we need to continue in life. It has given us a strong foundation, both religiously, morally, and academically. It is our home, and we can always come back to it. But now, we must spread our wings and fly. Remember, God has blessed each and every one of us with special gifts. Some of us have an idea of what it are, but for those who don't, look deep inside and pray on it. We are all special in our own way. In high school, strive for excellence and always remember to take the time to enjoy life. Life is precious and a gift from the Almighty. Make the most of it. Remember to never change who you are just because someone tells you to. Stay true to your convictions. I wish you all good luck, and I hope you keep in touch. Congratulations to all my fellow graduates. I will miss seeing you in school every day. Goodbye for now. God bless.
Well, it truly is an honor to be invited to speak to the young people on this day of your graduation. I'm a little scared to follow Caitlin. Anytime she wants to preach, we'll certainly give her the pulpit. Thank you very, very much. But it's been a joy. I've been here 7 years now in Our Lady Perpetual Help, and it's been a joy to see you grow and mature into wonderful young people. I know, as Father Gilmore said, that God has planted powerful seeds of talents and gifts in your lives. Your parents and your teachers have patiently cultivated these seeds, and today we see these beautiful young people that you have become. And today we mark with you this important step on your journey through life. I'd like to share a poem. This is my favorite poem, and I'll speak a little bit about this. It's by Robert Frost, called The Road Not Taken. Perhaps you know it. It says, 2 roads diverged in a yellow wood, and sorry I couldn't travel both. And be one traveler, long I stood and looked down one as far I could to where it bent in the undergrowth. And then I took the other, just as fair and perhaps having a better claim because it was grassy and wanted wear. Though as for that passing there had worn them both really just about the same. And both that morning equally lay in leaves no step had trodden black. Oh, I kept the first for another day, yet knowing how way leads on to way, I doubted I should ever come back. I shall be telling this with a sigh, somewhere ages and ages hence. 2 roads diverged in a wood, and I took the one less traveled by, and that has made all the difference. The poet speaks about taking a walk down a path. It seems that it's the autumn. It's in a forest. And he's on a path and he comes to a fork in the road. And he has to make a decision. He's there at that fork in the road. Which will he take? Yogi Berra would say, if you find a fork in the road, pick it up. Right? But I'd like to speak to you today about decisions, how to make decisions, how to make good decisions. And I'd like to ask, and I pretty much know from what Caitlin just said, that perhaps the hardest decision that you have made is the decision to what you're going to do after you leave here. I see in the booklet you're going to many, many different schools. And you will be together as friends, but certainly not in the same way. You know that this is a transitional moment in your life. I ask you, how was that decision made? First off, I don't think it was your decision only. I think because you're young and you're minors and you're adolescents, your parents had a great deal to do with the choice of schools. There's a lot of different ingredients that go into any decision that you make. Family finances are one. It's a huge concern. Future family plans are another. How far do you want to travel? The type of school, public, Catholic, private, charter, specialized. If together you have made the best decision that you could make at this time, given all the ingredients of our lives, I'd like to give you this bit of advice that has taken me a long time to even begin to understand. The decision was made. Make it the best, make the best of it, and move on. To keep going over and going over, ruminating and obsessing over it does nothing good. This is the decision that you've made. It's the best decision that they could make. Decision-making can be a painful process for all of us, and this shouldn't surprise us. The C-I-D-E in the verb decide comes from a Latin root, and it means to kill. Something gets killed off when we decide. And the C-I-S-I-O-N in decision, that comes from a Latin verb that means to cut. To kill, to cut. My God, there's violence in the very center of the decision. Cutting and killing are scary words. In choosing one path, in choosing one school, that will affect every other part of your life. And it's uncomfortable and mainly painful. There is a cost in deciding. What did I lose? What can I possibly gain? Both of those are in the balance. The loss is so real. Future possibilities are kind of in the fog and they blur our vision. Yet decisions have to be made. Surprisingly, indecision is a decision. Let me say that again. Indecision is a decision. If that person walking in the woods there came to the fork in the road and said, he loves me not, he loves me not, flipping the coin 2 out of 3, throwing dice and going back and forth, which is the best, he'd never take a step on a journey. Finally, you have to take a step, and that's the part of the journey. So indecision is a decision, and it's a decision to stay comfortable, to stay in fear. I know I've used this word already here, the word journey, your journey, but we all began our journey in our mother's womb. And in her womb, we were all provided for. We didn't have to worry about anything. She breathed and her breath gave us life. She ate and her food nourished us. Everything was taken care of. And it was a wonderful, wonderful place to grow and to mature until the moment when, and this was no decision of yours, and perhaps no decision of your mother's, but it was inevitable that you would be expelled, sent out, pushed out of that comfortable place into a big, bright, cold, scary world. And it's no surprise, given that that this was such a big and scary world, that the first sounds that came out of your mouth were a wail. All right? But it was a good wail, because it meant your lungs were starting to breathe. And you could begin with a lot of help and that care, being surrounded and cuddled and sheltered and fed, to begin this life in a bigger, wider world. I was going to tell you a little bit about one of the decisions I made about going to the seminary, but I saw 3 or 4 people and others collapsing, so I'm just going to move right along. Somebody would ask me sometimes, when did you decide to become a priest? Well, I could say this. 2 months after I graduated from Our Lady of Perpetual Help, I went to that college, that seminary prep school. So I left home right in front of the school on 6th Avenue on 59th Street on April 29th, 1965. This little step onto a bus was kind of like coming to that fork in the road. It was a small step, but it was the biggest step I ever made, because it took me on a different path and a different journey. For me, that became the road less traveled. Not many people are Catholic priests. Not many are choosing it. I would ask that you would contemplate it and think about it, but it's not for everybody. And so the question is, did I decide to become a priest at 13? No. Who can decide that at 13? I decided that I was attracted to it, and I wanted a little bit more information. There was a possibility of going to this place. It was very difficult and wonderful. It became wonderful. Friends that we made there have been friends for a lifetime. One of my nephews graduated from Port Hamilton High School here, where there's 4,000 kids. We had 200 in our school, so we got a lot of attention from wonderful priests who were our teachers, extraordinary men, and we are very, very grateful for it. Did I decide to become a priest when I was ordained in 1977? Quite honestly, that was a very short step, a very easy step. Everything in my life had been pointing towards that moment, and it wasn't even an act of faith. When did I decide to become a priest, or to be a priest rather? This morning. Again, every day. You who are married, you who are teachers, you know that you have to continue to reaffirm a decision, and that the big decision that was made gets reaffirmed, and the little decisions of every day become part of that extraordinary part of our lives that becomes like a rope. If you ever see a rope at a cruise ship, it's made of these little tiny fibers, but they're all wound together. And every one of our lives The little decisions we make are as tiny as a fiber, but woven together through the years, they become something very, very, very powerful. So I remember a time in the seminary where guys were leaving the seminary. Not everyone who went, most of those who went did not become priests. They became wonderful people and professionals and married men and gifted, and they never regret the decision to go to this school nor the decision to leave, because it was their path. So I would ask myself, do I still want to be a priest? And that was the wrong question for me to ask. The question that I had to ask, and when I asked it, I saw something different. Do you, dear God, want me to follow you in this gift of the priesthood? Are you calling me to this? Is this something that you have made for me, and not just for me, but for God's people? I would say that it wasn't so much a decision that I made, but in many ways a decision that God made. The prophet Jeremiah has this in his book. He says, God said to the prophet Jeremiah, before I formed you in the womb, I knew you. Before you were born, I dedicated you. A prophet to the nations, I appointed you. God had me, as he had each and every one of you, in his heart and mind for all eternity. It's a different question when you ask God, what is it that you want me to do for you in life? You have given me gifts and talents and possibilities and privileges. What do you want for me to do? There's an extraordinary book that I read and used one Lent. It just happens to have 40 chapters. It was written by Pastor Rick Warren of the Saddleback Church. Pastor Rick writes a book called The Purpose-Driven Life. Isn't that what you young people want for your lives? I hope so. Not just to make a whole lot of money or become important or powerful, but that your life would have meaning and purpose for yourselves, but for other people. And Pastor Rick Warren uses the scriptures and asks us to meditate on them. He starts his book with an extraordinarily simple phrase. He says, it's not about you. What? It's not about me. I'm the center of the universe. No, God is the center of everything. Caitlin mentioned God in the very first words that came out of her mouth. She is absolutely right. It is all about God. God who thought so much of us to put us in the world with the special gifts and talents we have, to glorify Him and to build up the community, the body of Christ among us. It's not about me. My priesthood isn't about me, not because I'm holy, not because I'm smart, not because of anything. It's because God can use whatever instrument He wants for His people. Priesthood is something that goes through me as a gift for others. And I would ask you, young people, as you continue to discover your gifts and talents, God has put some things in your heart, or you will see something, you will have an experience that will clarify in a way that is incredibly clear what the purpose of your life is. And I ask you to dedicate all your strength and all your abilities towards that. The Catholic way of saying the same thing came from an old book we used to study in our school called the Baltimore Catechism. Who made you? The answer, God made me. Why did God make you? God made me, and God made you to know Him, to love Him, and to serve Him in this world, and to be happy with Him forever. So that's what I'd ask you, to ask God, what is it that you want me to do, and give me the strength with which I can do it. So there are those daily decisions that you make. In your life, you're going to have a couple of very big and turn point decisions in your life. But most of the decisions are like those little fibers. Am I going to choose the right or the wrong? Moses, who's up there on the wall, over here on the left, Moses carrying the 10 Commandments, when he was about to die, he had led the people of Israel through the desert, brought them the commandments, organized them into a community, into a people. And when he was about to pass on, he looked from a mountaintop. When Dr. Martin Luther King, assassinated 50 years ago, spoke the night before he died in Memphis, and he said, I've been to the mountain. Maybe I'm not going to get to that promised land with you, but we as a people will get there. He's hearkening back to Moses. He looks out there and sees the promised land, knowing that he will not lead the people in there. And his final words are these: today I set before you life and death, blessing and curse. Choose life, he says. Choose blessing that you and your descendants may live. So I ask you, dear young people, in those very big decisions, but in the daily decisions of your life, choose life, choose blessing. Choose in the daily decisions to form a pattern of goodness and honesty and integrity. Choose a life in your values. Choose life for the defenseless, as Caitlin mentioned. Choose life for the forgotten, for the vulnerable. Choose life for our common home, this our planet. Choose life in politics. Choose life in friendships. Choose life in all your decisions. Choose life in your career decisions. So today, graduates, I set before you life and death, blessing and curse. And I ask you to choose life so that you and your descendants may live. And dare to take the road less traveled by. It will make all the difference. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Father McKenna. Now for the moment that everyone has been waiting for. Please come up as you hear your name being called. Joseph Alaba. Brandon Abigail Manola. Corey Alvarez. Brianna Barrios. Walang Chen. Caitlin Cortez. Melody Diaz. Paris Flores. Isaac Jen. Aaliyah Penalua. William Lynn. Zenyu K. Lin. Kimberly Morales. Emmanuel Reyes. Marvin Severin. Angelica Torres. And Wilson Wynn. Thank you, Dr. Noki and Mrs. Tyndall. Tassels for graduation caps play a significant part in a graduation ceremony. The traditional turning of the tassel, where one moves the graduation tassels from right to left, signifies one's transition from candidate to graduate after receiving their diploma. I now invite for our graduates to please stand up and face your family, friends, and the OLPH CAP community, and please turn your tassel from right to left. Congratulations, graduates. I am honored to begin the presentation of honors and awards to our graduates, which will be awarded by the faculty of Our Lady Perpetual Help Catholic Academy of Brooklyn. Our first set of awards will begin with Student of the Month and third trimester honor roll. If I could please have Mrs. Tyndall, Mrs. Serrano, Ms. Harrison, and Father Doe please come up to present the awards. Our first award is going to be Student of the Month. For June, the characteristic was school spirit, and that is going to Brandon Aragón. Now our third trimester honor roll. For principal's list, Caitlin Cortez. First honors, Emmanuel Reyes. Marvin Severin. And Wilson Wynn. For second honors, Brandon Aragón Manola and Isaac Chang. And our most improved, Joseph Balava. Thank you, Mr. Serrano, Ms. Harrison, Father Doe. Our next award will be the President's Award for Excellence, and it will be presented by Sister Mary. Sister Mary. Our first recipient is Caitlin Cortez. Xenia Lin. And Marvin Sever. Our next award is the President Achievement Award, and this will be presented by Ms. Khan. Our first recipient is Isaac Chan. William Lin. Emmanuel Reyes. And Wilson Wayne. Thank you, Ms. Khan. Our next award is the Bay Bridge St. Patrick's Day Scholarship Award. To a Catholic high school, presented to 2 students attending Catholic high school.
The Bay Ridge Award is given by the St. Patrick's Day Parade. It's a committee that is formed, and each year they hand out an award to several schools within the Bay Ridge Sunset Park section of Brooklyn. The recipient of this year's award is
Caitlin Cortez and Angelica Torres. Our next award is the 4-year scholarship to Catholic High School in the name of the late police officer Christopher Hoban.
I forgot to tell you that the Bay Ridge Award is $500 scholarship award, and this award that we're presenting now, Christopher Hoban, I think you need to know a little about Christopher Hoban. Christopher Hoban was a police officer in New York City. He was undercover, and during this operation, he died in the line of duty. His family turned tragedy into a positive thing by handing out a 4-year scholarship for a graduate of OLPH each year. The child must be attending a Catholic school, and each year they pay $1,000 towards this child's tuition. I know it's hard when you lose someone, but I think of the Hoban family as just a wonderful family, because if you can turn that tragedy into something wonderful for someone else, it says a lot about you. The recipient of this award for 2018 is Miss Melanie Diaz.
An Educator of the Year award with a small gift card, just to remind her how fantastic we think she is. So, thank you. was Andy Morello. Andy did everything every lion does, not just in spirit, but in action. Andy Morello served. Our motto is, we serve. And when you decide to honor somebody that great, you have to find excellence in someone. Well, as always, we look to Miss Tyndall. I said, can you please tell us who in your wonderful school exemplifies that? And she sent us a few compositions, and we picked one. But to my shock, this is the first time we're honoring a person from the same family. So it says that the Cortez family is not just a normal family. They're a family of excellence. So to the Cortez family, thank you for all you do. And Caitlin, come on up.
Thank you, Dorian. There is a very special award. It's called the Kathy Mulholland Award. And it's special to us here at OLPH because Kathy was a member of our staff for a very long time. Today we have our husband here with us and her daughter Tara, who will be presenting this award. There are still many days when I can hear Kathy laughing, and I can hear her calling my name, because that's the type of person she was. Very happy, full of life, jovial. When we lost her, we lost a wonderful part of the OLPH family. She made me feel so welcome when I came to OLPH. She was the first person to extend a hand. I came to OLPH in the middle of the school year. I knew no one. I didn't even know where I was going. I didn't know where Sunset Park was. And Kathy opened her heart to me. I came in every morning and we would laugh and joke about something, whether I broke the copy machine and I was trying to hide it, and she would say, "Tyndall, you broke the machine again?" That's Kathy. She was so good to us at OLPH. She made everything just run smoothly. We miss her every day. And it is my pleasure, it's my privilege, it's my honor to honor her today and to present this award. So I'm going to ask Tara and Mr. Mulholland if you could step forward. And the award this year goes to Ms. Caitlin Cortez. To show what a wonderful family the Mulholland family is, they have donated money to OLPH Catholic Academy so that each year we can give an award to a graduate of OLPH. It's a $500 award. That says a lot, again, about people who have lost, but use their loss in a positive way. It says a lot about them. Thank you.
Is the OLPH Faculty Spirit Award. If I could have Mrs. Aquilino please come up to present. The recipient for this award is Aliyah Kanahalua. Thank you. Our last award will be the Principal's Award, and that's presented by Mrs. Tyndall.
Before I present the Principal's Award, I would just like to say a little about the recipient, William Lynn. When William came to OLPH, he knew not a word of English. It was hard to communicate with him, and it was hard for him to communicate with us. But I've watched this young man mature. I have watched how much he studied, and he became a part of the family at OLPH. I am so proud of William, and I know I should not be calling him William because he has another name that I try, but I just cannot pronounce. So he's going to tell us his name when he comes up. But William, I am so proud of you. I am so proud of all that you have achieved and all that you have done. And I'm praying that you will continue to do this. So William, please come up and tell us something.
Joshing.
I know you have been dreaming of this day, but to be honest with you, I was a bit concerned when we merged this class together. And I wondered if you, the graduates, would be able to coexist and become one. I was concerned for no reason, because you have demonstrated to me just how mature you have become as students of OLPH and St. Agatha. I must say thank you to the teachers from both schools who have done a tremendous job with getting you prepared for the next chapter in your lives. I am so proud of the way in which you intertwined and became one graduating class in Christ. So give yourself a hand. As your elementary school years come to an end with graduation, I congratulate you and offer my best wishes for a happy and successful future. These have been years of hard work, of study, and of growth. Your school and teachers have tried to provide you with rich opportunities and wise guidance. They have done their part in your Catholic education, and you have done yours. And now you must go forth from Our Lady of Perpetual Help School and prepare to continue your education in another school. All of us here wish you many blessings and great success. The next 4 years will be among the most important in your lives. You will now enter a phase of your life which will challenge and excite you. New experiences, new faces, and new challenges await you. Take hold of them because these are precious years. Use these high school years well. Pour into them your whole heart and all your energy. Especially, use them to grow strong in your Catholic faith. If you do, you will stand a good chance of staying strong in it throughout your life. However, I challenge you to be different. Be your own person. Set goals for yourselves so that you can be instruments of peace in making this world a better place to live. The school treasures each of you and has high hopes for all of you. We pray that you become the man or woman of whom OLPH can be proud. May God bless you, and always with every grace and gift you need. With all the love in our hearts, your teachers and I wish you success for the future, because you are the future. Thank you to your parents for entrusting you to us at OLPH. I pray that you will carry with you not just the knowledge you have acquired, but the moral values taught to you. God bless each of you on your quest for success. I would like to thank Father Gilmore, Father Frank, our speaker, Father McKenna, our board chairman, Dr. Nopi, Sister Mary, Father Doe, Gloria Rodriguez, the entire board, faculty, and staff for all their hard work. A special thank you to the Sunset Park Lions Club, to Tara Mulholland, Mr. Mulholland, St. Patrick's Day Committee, and the family of Christopher Hoban. We thank you so much for celebrating this wonderful day with us. I know it has been extremely hot, but put the heat aside. It was a good day. It was a day in which the Lord gave us, and we are so grateful for it. So thank you, and God bless you all.
Oh,